Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Loughborough University. We are here live and direct for today's NBL L Lynch Trophy group action. My name is Tahir Hajat and I am alongside Pierce Maslen today. Pierce is back for his second time on the microphone after making his debut with me when we watched the Leicester Warriors game. We're just getting the team introductions underway, both teams coming onto the floor this time. How are you getting on, Pierce? How's everything going?
I'm good, thanks. Just glad to be back after the last game we were here, so it was fun. So I'm glad they invited me back, so I'm looking forward to a good one today.
Well, one thing I love about Pierce is that he does his homework, does his research, and has been connected with so many of the players that you'll see in action today. So Pierce will be keeping us up to date with all the latest in the stats, but also some nuggets here for us to enjoy as we go through today's commentary. So the teams have been announced, and I'll just go through those teams for you really quickly. For the Nottingham Hoods at 0 is Victor Olorere, number 1 Isaac Patrick, number 2 and captain Matt Ward-Hibbert, number 4 Sammy Bio, number 5 Matt Parker, number 6 Tolu Babalola, number 8 Delaney Powell, number 9 Bruce Adeji, number 11 Manpreet Hundell, number 13 Lauritz Juffa, number 23 Toto Fagbenle, and number 42 Callum Davey. Their head coach is Ben Stanley, and he's assisted by Scotch Birchnell today. For the Loughborough Riders, they line up as follows: at number 4 Joe Belak, number 6 and captain Carl Jimenez, number 7 CJ Hayden, number 8 Chester Morrell, number 10 Carlin Tifo, number 11 Dwayne Origi, number 12 Harrison Gamble, number 13 Jonas Dietrich, number 15 Mayowa Oloki, number 20 Liam Johnson, and number 25 Richard Riley. Their head coaches Mark Jarham and Liam Jefferson. So we've seen the lineups for today. Pierce, who are you looking for in today's lineup to make a show for us?
I'm looking at Carl Jimenez right now. Like the last 3 games, he's averaged almost a triple-double. Last game was one assist short of a triple-double. So I'm looking for him to step up. And he was injured the last few games as well, and he still came out on the floor, did what he had to do. Also, I'm looking for Harrison Gamble and Jonas Dietrich as well. Like they're the next two that's stepping up and with the points and taking the load. But I think the challenges for Loughborough is looking at the bench. How much is the bench giving them? And the last few games, it's not been a lot, but I'm optimistic today.
Fantastic. And obviously they're taking on the Nottingham Hoods. They've had some great players. These two teams last competed on Saturday, and it was a 3-point game, so we're expecting another tight game here today at the Loughborough University. The final score in that game was 77-74 in Loughborough's favour. After a big performance by someone you've mentioned already, Jonas Dietrich with 25.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, the captain leading the way for the Riders in that game. Alongside, as we mentioned, Carl Jimenez, who had 9 points, 12 rebounds and 7 assists, flirting with another triple-double after the back-to-back triple-double action we've seen from him so far this season.
He also had the game-winning free throws at the end of the game. He got fouled near at the end of the game, made his 2 free throws, and he also, Nottingham had a technical as well, so it put them up by 3 at the end.
So also the Nottingham Hoods have had some great performances within their camp. Victor Olorerin, the former Alec Reed ABL baller, he had 20.7 rebounds, 4 steals. Alongside Delaney Powell, Nottingham local. And fun fact, I used to play against Delaney when back in my young National League days, and Delaney a stalwart for the club. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals for him in that game. So as mentioned, we're looking forward to hopefully a close game once again here at the Loughborough University in today's NBL L Lynch Trophy group stage fixture. And for those of you who have not been able to keep up with the standings online, we had the quarter-final draw. Big shout out to Rebound, who helped to host the L Lynch Trophy NBL quarter-final draw. And let me try and explain it for you with as much information as I currently have available to me. So the first fixture is Thames Valley Cavaliers taking on potentially the 2nd seed from this group, and at this moment it's potentially between Charnwood Riders and Nottingham Hoods. There's obviously an outside chance that Loughborough potentially could be involved in that, but most likely it's going to be potentially between the Charnwood Riders and the Hoods. The second quarter final is the 1st seed in this group, which potentially could be Loughborough Hoods, a lot riding on today's game for that 1st position spot. If Loughborough win today, then they confirm their 1st position seed, and they will potentially be taking on either Bradford or Myerscough, who would be the 2nd seed in that group. And hopefully, if the Hoods win, then they put themselves in a position where they still have to play Charnwood, and on a points difference, it will go down to decide who will take on either Bradford or Myerscough. And the third quarterfinal drawn and has been decided. That's Solent Kestrels taking on Hemel Storm. That's going to be a great clash. Two top teams in the NBL. Obviously, we all know about Solent and their roster, but also it's great to see the club such as Hemel Storm have such a fantastic atmosphere in their games and such fantastic talent on their team to go head-to-head. So great one to look forward to. And the fourth and final quarterfinal picture is Derby or Bradford taking on Worthing Thunder, and that's the fourth and final quarterfinal potential draw. So, took a deep breath after that. But that's where we are at this moment in the NBL L Lynch Trophy. So we're focusing on the Loughborough University Riders team taking on the Nottingham McDonald's Hoods. Ready to go here, Loughborough University. Pierce, both teams are starting with their lineups. Harrison Gamble, Jonas Dietrich, number 11, Dwayne Orija, Carl Jimenez, and number 7, Conroy Hayden, doing a little bit of a robot for the fans on the floor in this moment in time. And the starting 5 for the Hoods, number 15, Laurits Juffa, number 8, Delaney Powell, number 6, Tolu Babalola. We've also got number 5, Matt Parker, and I believe number 0, Victor Olarerin. There'll be a starting 5 for both teams as we get ready to get this in the way. It's exciting times, Pierce.
For sure. I'm looking forward, especially Dwayne Orija as well, coming into that starting spot after Justin Headley's taken that step up to the BBL team. So look for Dwayne Orija to make a big impact in these games for Loughborough. So hopefully he'll be that spark off the bench.
So right now the team showing their appreciation for the Black Lives Matter movement. As we get ready to get this underway, the Loughborough Riders taking on the Nottingham Hoods here. L Lynch Trophy group stage action. And it's Juffers and Gamble that will go up for the tip. And we're going to get a re-tip, I believe, here. Oh, not a re-tip. I believe a call has been made by the official. I'm not quite sure what the call was, I'll be honest with you.
I think it was a missed tip.
Okay, missed tip.
Not too sure.
Somehow it's come in the favour of Loughborough.
Yeah.
So here's Harrison Gamble on the wing, as Jimenez will command the first offence for this game. Gamble.
Looking inside for that mismatch.
Yeah, Orija.
It's good. Dwayne Orija with the post up.
And here's Parker now for the Hoods. Don't forget, tell your friends and family to join us live here on the live stream. Make sure you get involved in the YouTube comments. We'll be thinking about a game MVP, and that'll be an ongoing discussion throughout today's game. But also let us know your thoughts in today's game. Get involved also on social media at L Lynch on L Lynch Trophy on Twitter and at L Lynch Trophy on Instagram, I believe. And the stream is on Basketball England's YouTube page. Foul is called the number 13, Jonas Dietrich, for a hold. End-line possession here for the Nottingham Hoods. Riders slipping into the 2-3 zone. Powell inbounds.
Nice
Joffa,
move.
he gets it to go for 2. And here's Jimenez.
I think Nottingham have figured out who the main guys are for Loughborough. See Victor Olarin picking up full court on Carl Jimenez, trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Pump fake off the dribble, Gamble drives, keeps it in play. Stolen away now by Parker. Here come the Hoods pushing forwards. Parker receives it back on the 3-point line. Skipped across, 3 ball in the corner. Olarin opens his bank account for the evening.
Picking up from where he left off last game. Had 20 points in the last matchup against these guys.
It is days that Alec Reed, a prolific scorer for his team, so he knows how to do that. Here's Jimenez, inside with Hayden. Long 2 from Harrison Gamble, fade away.
It's a good sign for Loughborough. Harrison making his first shot. It's going to be a big part of this game.
Olarin, pro hop to the right hand. Couldn't quite get the spin off the glass that he needed to softly come into the basket. Here's Gamble in transition. Jimenez whips that one away, gets it back. Jimenez, he was under the basket and he could have scored. Shot clock issue here with the table officials. And now Loughborough will get the ball back. It's 14 on the clock. And here's Jimenez.
I think a big stat to look at from last game is Loughborough had 26 points in the paint against Nottingham last game. And you see Jonas has scored in the paint, so I think this is Mark Jam's game plan to get everything inside.
Well, it would be very similar to the last game, as you mentioned, but also the Hoods scored well in the paint last game with around 46 points in the paint they had last game. Here's the 3-ball now. Catches nothing but air on that one. Collected by Jonas Dietrich. Jimenez pushes the ball forward. Arija, bounce pass, beautiful bounce pass to Hayden. Gamble wide open for 3. Rolls around the ring, and Olarerin will come up with the rebound.
Dwayne Arija looks like he's got a little bit more confidence in today's game.
It's a nice feeling when you start the game and you step into a new role. Great opportunity to showcase, and as a player, you'll be feeling very well motivated. Long 2 there by Babalola. Jimenez moves the ball to Gamble in the corner. Arija, teammate stood up, ready to shoot, and Hayden.
Great move by Dwayne Arija. CJ's got to have his hands ready there. That's an easy 2 points.
Here's Olarerin with the Euro step down the opposite end of the floor. Having an argument mid-court with his teammate. But returns, recovers, gets the steal. Olarerin hands it over now. Fumbles the possession. And Loughborough come back with possession. Lauritz Juffa. Dietrich onto the left hand. Dietrich rolls around. Big finish. CJ Hayden cleaning up, putting out the bins, taking them and putting the trash in the truck.
Again, 44 rebounds in the last game for Loughborough. It's a good sign. CJ Hayden getting that putback.
Parker, pump fake. Steps back, beautiful bounce pass around the defender, but can't find his teammate. Jimenez. Gamble onto the left hand. Gamble, and CJ Hayden rises up once again. Almost comes with a second putback.
That would have been
something. Yes. Babalola. Ball bounces off the backboard and heads to the opposite side. Only a 3-point game here, but Hayden, 2 hands this time. He'll finish once again.
It's a good sign. CJ Hayden running the floor.
He's got way too much time at this moment. Doesn't seem like anyone's around him. And here's Parker for the Hoods. He'll line up a 3-point shot from way downtown. Rattles out of the ring, rebounded by Gamble. Jimenez.
Looks like Loughborough trying to push the pace here. Trying to get some early points in transition, pushing the tempo.
Big offensive rebound from Jimenez. Keeping his team on offense. Arija kicked away or off the foot of Jeffers. Substitution checking into the game. Number 2, Matt Ward-Hippen, the captain for the Nottingham Hoods. In fact, a timeout has been called. Both teams get a chance to talk it over. 10-5, 5 minutes 23 left on the clock. A good start to the quarter, Pierce.
Yeah, for sure. Like in the last game, Loughborough finished with 23 turnovers. Nottingham had 12 turnovers. And Loughborough came out with a win. So I think Mark's pretty happy with the start so far. Getting out with a fast tempo, limited turnovers. So it looks like they're trying to run in transition and execute this time.
And don't forget, ladies and gents, get involved with us on social media. At Lynch Trophy on Twitter, at L Lynch Trophy on Instagram, and let us know your thoughts in the YouTube comments section. Let us know who you think is performing well in today's game. A player that we've seen take a couple of shots, unfortunately hasn't made them yet, is Babalola, and you mentioned that you've come across him before.
Yeah, Tolu Babalola was ex-England international when he was under 15s, under 16s. He was an ex-Haringey Hawks player, pretty well known back in London. But he's looking a lot better now, coming to Nottingham and stepping up into Division 1.
And Haringey Hawks have produced many great players over there. Of course, they just recently had a great run in the Under-18s National Cup, toppling teams, and a brilliant squad they have, obviously, under Coach Frank. One of the most exciting teams I've had the pleasure of announcing, I'll be honest with you, and the crowd be absolutely bumping when Haringey Hawks come to a final. So shout out to Haringey Hawks.
It's always a tough game when you're playing Haringey Hawks, I'll tell you that.
And here's Jimenez. Riders back into the game. Here's Morel, who's checked in, as well as Bilak. Bilak was wide open under the basket. Morel couldn't get it off in time.
Bilak had a good impact last game with 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. So hopefully he gets off to a good quick start today.
Jimenez has to jack that one up to try and beat the shot clock, unable to do so, and the Hoods will get possession back.
It's unusual for Loughborough to rotate so early. This must be a good sign that Chester and Bielak are doing well in practice, proving themselves, and Mark Jarram's giving them the confidence to take a step up so early in the game. Nice move.
Big drive baseline and a baseline poster for L Lynch Trophy. Welcome to the game, sir. Big play from the Hoods. You'll see that one, I'm sure, on BBL Fix, on Hoop Fix. Rebound, and Harrison Gamble replies with a big three. Hey, quite a few highlights early on in this game.
Setting the tone early.
Here's Matt Ward-Hibbert. Babalola. Powell. Baseline, Juffers.
A lot of off-ball movement here for Nottingham Hoods.
Handed off by Powell. Powell fades away for two. Gets it to go. And here's Jimenez.
See the full court pressure here by Ward-Hibbert. Trying to slow Carl Jimenez down.
Gamble goes for another three. Doesn't get it to go. Rebounded by Powell. And Morrell bumps off his shoulder. Pick and roll here, or pick and pop, should I say. Powell goes baseline. Mid-range shot from the baseline. And Hayden comes up with the rebound for Loughborough. Jimenez in the corner, Bielak in the corner for three. Lights out. Bielak makes it count, but Powell is down the other end of the floor. Powell up strong, and that was way too easy.
Bielak and Powell picking up where they left off in the last game. Powell having 15 points in 28 minutes with 8 rebounds. And again, Bielak hitting his first shot. Great confidence booster for him.
Hayden. Now on the left with Jimenez. Jimenez now finds Bielak inside again. Good decision. Gamble finds Morrell. Pump fake. Oh, and a double dribble's called.
It's a tough one. He patted the ball down, as you call it. It's unfortunate.
And substitutions will check into the game. Substitution for the Nottingham Hoods, Isaac Patrick and Manpreet Hundal will check into the game. Substitution for Loughborough as number 10, Carlin Tifo checks in.
Special shout out to Isaac Patrick, ex-Charnwood player in the EABL setup with the Division 2 team last year. Now making that step up into Division 1, so hopefully he does well.
Hundal uses the screen from Juffers. Juffers cuts inside, gets 2 feet in the pen, and an offensive foul called. He drops his shoulder, and Harrison Gamble stands strong.
Great defense there by Harrison Gamble, putting his body on the line. As you can see, he's got a cut under his chin, so it must have been painful for him to do that.
Jimenez. Jimenez goes all the way. Carl Jimenez and Tifo. He looked like he was about to throw that one down.
Picking up where CJ Hayden left off. Good sign for Mark Jarram.
And outbound is called as Jimenez reaches round the defender, or reaches round the attacking player, tries to grab the ball, but he's out of bound himself, and the Hoods come up with possession. Interception now for Joe Bielak. Bielak goes through the middle of the defenders, and a foul is called.
Nice strong start from Bielak, doing it on both ends of the floor.
Powell is called for the foul. With a hit on the arm, 2 shots to come. It's his first personal, second team. Substitution for the Hoods checking into the game. Bruce Adeji into the game as Powell will take a break.
From experience, we don't want to see Bielak getting off to a hot start, because once he's hot, he's going to be hot for the whole game. He's a guy that rides off of confidence. If he makes his first shot, it's over for you guys.
Oh, you heard it here from Pierce himself, laying down the gauntlet. Not biased at all, are we, Pierce?
Not at all.
Bielak gets it to go from the free throw line. Hundal. Now with Matt Ward-Hibbert.
I think Loughborough sitting in a 2-3 zone, or if they just matched up.
Just matching up now. Juffers goes back to basket, gets it to go for 2.
I think Loughborough without Giovanni Imaru, bring that size off the bench, might struggle today guarding inside. That's his 3rd attempt at the ring for Jeffers.
Yeah. And here's Gamble, top of the 3-point line. Goes for the spin. Matt Ward-Hibbert tries to get his hands in. Gamble fades away, and Tifo to beat the buzzer for 2.
Does that count as an assist?
I don't know. I believe Russell Levinson's on stats today, potentially, so it's up to him if he counts that as an assist. Ward Hibbett keeps it in control for the Hoods. Looks inside Juffers. Pump fake. Steps back. Good footwork. Can't get the free throw, almost free throw jump shot to go. Morel skips it across Gamble. Off the pump fake. Harrison Gamble floats it over. Can't get it to go. Comes off the side of the iron. And the Riders will keep it. Substitution checking into the game. Number 13, Dietrich. Number 7, Hayden. Morel and Gamble heads to the bench. And Babalola will check in also for the Hoods. As Juffers will take a well-earned rest. Good shift early on for his team. 6 points. And Jimenez finds in Tifo. And Tifo, wow, too strong.
Nice
defender
move.
Couldn't stay in his space. Moved right off of him. It gets it to go for 2, 22-13. 1 minute to go here at Loughborough University. NBL group stage L Lynch action. Back to basket, Babalola. He gets it to bounce in for 2.
I think it'll be interesting to look at the points in the paint again, just from this first quarter for Nottingham.
Jimenez. Up top, Dietrich. Tries to shake his defender off him. Finds in Tifo. Big long wingspan in Tifo. Ripping that ball through. Like went from half court to baseline with that swing through. And now the Hoods get the ball back into possession in their own half.
It's Ward Hibbett trying to get a post up.
Mid-range from the elbow.
It's too easy there, leaving him wide open on his first dribble.
Isaac Patrick gets that one to go. Here's Jimenez. Pressured here by Hundle. Jimenez. Final 10 seconds. Clock winding down here in the first quarter. Carl Jimenez. Bilak. Inside. And Tifo, they went away to the basket. Foul is called. The cherry on the cake would have been the and one, but what a way to use your time. And down to the final second, he gets 2 shots on the line.
Definitely. Great patience there by Carl Jimenez. See Nottingham trying to step up the pressure onto him. Can see he's a key player, but making the right decision, getting the ball out of his hands when he needs to, trusting his teammates.
And Tifo on the line. He could get the first one to go. Take his points tally to 5. And he gets the second to go as well. And now a little 7-point gap here, or 6-point gap here. Or 7-point gap it will be as the buzzer sounds at the end of the first quarter. 24-17 the score. The Loughborough Riders in the lead at this moment in time. And let's head to a little bit of statistics for you. Carl Jimenez, as we mentioned, has had some great all-round statistics over the past few games. He has 0 points at this moment in time, but he's got 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. So he's starting to get himself into the game. Leading all scorers for Loughborough with 5 points is in Tifo, Bilak, and Harrison Gamble. And for the Hoods, it's 6 points for Juffers, 4 points for Delaney Powell, and 3 points for Victor Olorerin. So relatively slow start for the Nottingham Hoods, not able to get themselves a little closer to the Riders. However, there's some positive signs there for the Hoods.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely inside for Juffers. He's making an impact straight away. As you can see, he's already had a dunk and a few post moves inside for the undersized Loughborough at the moment. But hopefully Coach Jaram is going to drill it into them. Can't let the points in the paint be the factor of today's game.
And there have been some great highlights in the game. As you already mentioned, Lauritz Juffa driver baseline for the poster right there, as well as CJ Hayden throwing down a couple, cleaning up one time, and also getting his own two-handed slam just off 2 feet under the basket as well. So looking forward to see some more action here at the L Lynch group stage fixture between Loughborough Riders and Nottingham Hoods. Positive start here, 24-17. Don't forget to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.
Looks like Liam Johnson stepping in for the first time tonight. Another impact player off the bench. Great shooter, does all the little things. So hopefully he can make an impact straight away for Loughborough.
And the final motivational team shot for the Hoods before they step into this second quarter. So as mentioned, this is a very important game for both of these teams in the group stage here. The chance to secure first place in the group for Loughborough, but a chance to get closer to first place for the Hoods if they get themselves back into this game. As mentioned, it's only 7 points, and the Hoods will get this second quarter underway. And here's Hundle at the point. Slips away from Olarerin. Well, that's not particularly how you want to start the quarter, but nonetheless, here's the Riders, Jimenez.
Unforced turnover there. Nottingham only having 12 last game, so it's not a good sign for Coach Ben Stanley.
Jimenez and Tifo now. Johnson on the right-hand side, guarded by Ward Hibbert. Trying to find the pass. Shot clock winding down. Jonas Dietrich onto the right-handed hook for two.
Tough shot.
The captain coming through. And here come the Hoods. Getting a staggered action up the top here, almost for Olarerin. Foul is called. Babalola makes his way to the rack, pushing, foul called.
See Coach Jaram screaming at his players. Can see where the advantage is for Nottingham. The guy's not executing on the defensive plan. Sending Tolu Babalola to the line, giving them easy points.
Babalola gets the first to go. Second one bounces off the back of the ring, and a foul is called. Foul is called on number 10, Colin Tifo, for a push, as him and Olarerin hustled and bustled to get the rebound, and now the Hoods get possession on the baseline. Chance to get a little closer. Here's Ward Hibbert, skips it out Hundle.
You can see Loughborough in their 2-3 zone.
And Matt Ward Hibbert finds room for three off the front of the ring, rebounded.
That's the thing with the zone, you're going to give up offensive rebounds.
Here's Hundle. Bounce pass in. Babalola goes up strong, and Tifo contests the shot, but Babalola come back into a play, and a foul is called. Foul is called on Babalola as he tries to sneakily take the ball from behind.
I think Tifo might have slapped the backboard on that one as well. A little goaltending,
potentially
maybe.
could have been a goaltending call. Substitution checking into the game for the Nottingham Hoods. Sammy Bio checks into the game. And Babalola will head to the bench.
They're stepping up the pressure on Cole Jimenez, trying to make everyone else bring up the ball apart from him.
Here's Hayden, back to basket, kicks it out. Johnson moves the ball to Dietrich on the baseline. Back to basket, Hayden once again. And there's Jimenez. He gets the offensive rebound, couldn't get the shot off. Oh! And the ref has called double dribble. Ward Hibbert almost got away with that one. Olarerin was bursting away with speed, but unfortunately hit the deck.
I think if he didn't stop, he might have got away with that one. Just play it out, just keep going, just keep running with the ball.
Play to the whistle.
Exactly.
Sideline Dietrich. Jimenez pops out. Hayden with a screen at the top.
See, nothing's coming easy for Jimenez. Still scoreless, but he's doing all the little things.
And Tifo seals down in the paint against Olarerin. Back to basket, and Tifo rises up, and he's good for two.
Great move there by Colin Tifo.
And Loughborough open up their lead to 10. Here's Hundle. In and out dribble from Hundle. Guard intercepted by Jimenez. Another steal for the number 6. Johnson on the right-hand side. Dietrich looks inside. Hayden and Tifo, and an unsportsmanlike foul has been called, so the basket won't count.
Two guys are wide open under the basket. Coach Ben Stanley must not be happy with that type of effort on the defensive transition.
2 shots to come after the unsportsmanlike foul was called on Olorerin. And Hayden finds himself on the baseline, on the free throw line. That's the second putback he scraped and missed today. Or was that a putback? No, that one was 2 foot off the floor just there.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
You're giving him style points. You don't get style points, Pierce. There's no style points out here. And also unable to convert from the free throw line. Coach's hat on is telling me, just make a layup, put it in the basket. And Loughborough have possession. Here's Hayden
straight
back
to him
again. Looks inside, Dietrich now. And it bounces off the side of the ring, rebounded by the Hoods. Here's Ward Hibbert.
I think it's those easy ones that might come back and bite Loughborough at the end of the game.
Here's Powell. Powell shakes off Antifo. Delaney Powell to the rack. And a rebound now for Johnson. Jimenez. Bounce pass across to Johnson.
There's a mismatch inside with CJ Hayden.
And they found it. Here's Hayden. Back to basket. Hayden can't stop him, and 2 points for him.
Great move there by CJ Hayden. He's doing all the little things, running the floor, posting up his guy. He knows he's got a mismatch, so they're going straight to him, and he's doing really well with it.
Powell. 3 ball. Unable to get it go. And now Riders. Johnson up top with Jimenez. Skip to the corner, down low, Hayden. Hayden rises again, and this time he shows his muscle and flexes to the crowd, throws it down, 2 hands. He's having a dunk fest today. Here's Dietrich.
He's not going to miss the easy ones.
And Tifa back out, Dietrich corner 3, and Loughborough are on fire.
It's a great momentum swing right there.
And now
CJ with the dunk as well.
Timeout call by Ben Stanley. Big plays back-to-back from Loughborough, bringing the energy here to Loughborough University as they take the lead 35-18. 6 minutes 34 left here in the second. What's the key to Loughborough coming forward here?
I think complacency. Like, you've got to keep their heads. Okay, they're up right now, but they've been up in the past and they've blown the game. So they've got to keep their heads, keep doing what they're doing, keep running in transition, keep making easy play, find the mismatches, and they should win this game. So
I think offensively it's been a little bit tough for the Hoods at this moment in time. Maybe a couple of miscommunications and a couple of turnovers here and there. They don't seem to have settled on offense and then been able to get the looks that they were getting previously when Jeffers was in the game. Hopefully coach will get him back in soon to help rejuvenate that. But hopefully they'll have that chance in this time out to talk it over. Your coach Ben Stanley now, what are you saying to your team? I'm
saying go inside. That's where the best option is for them right now. They've been getting a load of points inside the paint. Again, with Jeffers, get him back in the game, get him the ball, make Loughborough play inside defense. Because that's the one thing you can see in this game they haven't done a good job on, is in the inside. That's where their advantage is. Same thing with Delaney Powell, get him inside. Same with Ward Hibbert, he's got an inside game. Just keep feeding the ball as close to the basket as you can, and hopefully the ball goes in.
So at this moment in time, the Riders bench scoring well, 13 points off the bench for the Riders, and only 2 points off the bench from the Hoods. They're going to need to contribute a little bit more if they're going to stick around in this game. So both fives making their way back onto the floor at this moment in time. We do believe Loughborough do have another player that hasn't, it's not actually on the stat sheet, but he is in the book. I believe there's another player who had to go back to Nottingham and get their kit. And bring it here because they bought the wrong kit in Nottingham Hoods player. But we'll confirm that with you a little bit later on when they turn up, if they turn up. And the ball's going to be played in here from the baseline. Just a little bit of clarification between the officials on the clock.
As you can see, Loughborough in their full court press, trying to keep that momentum going into the half.
We have a late addition who's turned up. I think it's Toto Fagbenle, that's the late addition for Hoods. And here's Ward Hibbett. Juffers is back into the game now.
See CJ making that effort, making him force him outside of the paint, taking a tough two.
Almost tipped in by Sami Bew. And here's Arija. Jimenez. Riders break the press. Jonas Dietrich on the right-hand side. Powell pushing in baseline. Clock winding down, 7 on the shot clock. Here's Jimenez.
Looks a little stagnant right now from Loughborough.
Jimenez, he'll drive, and the foul is called. He's going to head to the free throw line. The foul is called on number 2, Matt Ward Hibbett. 2 shots to come for Jimenez.
I think that's a bailout foul right there. Had him at the half. Wasted a load of time on the clock. Just got to contain and make Carl Jimenez shoot a contested shot. Can't be fouling in those situations.
And here comes Ward Hibbett now, 37-18 the score. 19-point game, Juffers.
Loughborough showing a 2-3 zone.
Forcing them to take a lot of outside shots, and the Hoods haven't shot the ball well, and haven't shot the ball much from behind the arc. It's Jonas Dietrich, though, on the other end of the floor. Somebody who's shooting the ball well from behind the arc in this moment in time for Loughborough.
Again, he had 25 points in the last outing against Nottingham in 31 minutes, so it's a good sign. He's knocking down his shots today.
He'll feel confident in this game. Here's Olarerin. His ball bobbles in and out. He's not had the start of the game that he would have hoped, but plenty of time left for him to get back in. Here's Juffers. He can't keep it under control, but Beal gets it across to Matt Ward Hibbett for the pump and the drive. He can't get it to go, and out of bounds.
Nice move there by Matt Ward Hibbett. Carl Jimenez has got to stay down on his shot fake. No, he's a lights out shooter, but stay on your feet.
Substitutions checking into the game for Loughborough. Number 12, Harrison Gamble replaces number 7, CJ Hayden. Had a great second quarter. Big play after play. And also checking in for the Hoods, number 5, Matt Parker. Powell. Olarerin reaches it with the crossover. And Powell, as the foul is called, Arija reaches round. The foul is called. Sideline ball for the Hoods. And Powell will get the ball into play. Nice seal inside by Juffers. Goes up strong, Gamble contests. And the Hoods come back up with possession, an offensive rebound for them. Here's Powell now. Powell floats it inside, nice pass to Juffers, but once again couldn't get the shot to go. Here's Jimenez.
It's a tough one to finish there. It's a great pass, just got to come down with it if he has to.
Inside, foul called.
Melwa Oluki stepping in the game, making an impact straight away.
He heads to the free throw line for 2 shots.
I think he's another one for Loughborough off the bench. Coming up from the Bucks twos, made an impact in the last few games that he's come in for Loughborough.
His 4th team foul now for the Hoods. 40-18, 4 minutes 33 left to go here in the second. This quarter has been 16-1. Juffers, right hand, and now stops the bleeding finally for the Hoods.
Hopefully that's a good momentum swing for Nottingham. It's those easy ones that can get a team going.
Arija, behind the back dribble, keeps the ball away from Olarerin. Dietrich going all the way. Jonas Dietrich for 2, and he's put it in the work this evening. 12 points total for him.
Great finish there by Jonas. Extending out is a tough one, especially with a longer defender trying to block you from behind.
Sometimes people underestimate his athleticism. And he's showing that he's got it all today. Powell fumbles possession. Shot clock winding down. Oluki Moves the ball forward. Dietrich again in transition for 2. And Loughborough capitalizing on the turnover from the Hoods. Parker. Now Powell driving baseline. View out. Olarerin inside Juffers has some room for 2 points. That zone causing all kind of problems inside the paint for the Hoods. Here's Dietrich. Gamble.
Nottingham have just got to keep going to Juffers. He's the only one that's looking really like he wants to play tonight.
Gamble out to Jimenez. Can keep it in play. Mayoa lucky. Beautiful bounce. Pass to Jimenez. Up strong. Lucky. It would have been a great play if they had the final execution there. On a substitution now for the Hoods. Checking into the game is number 9, Bruce Adeji. And also checking into the game, a later rival, Toto Fagbenle. And he'll replace Lauritz Juffers. Here's Gamble. Gamble off the glass. And I believe it was a shot clock violation. Did he go off in time? Substitution checking into the game for the Loughborough Riders. Joe Belak checking in. Mayoa Lucky takes a break. Only a brief stint in the game so far for him. He had a nice little impact to Lucky. Dynamic on the defensive end, but also having a little impact on offense. Here's Frank Benley. Hands it off to Powell. Sets the screen. Powell looks inside. Frank Benley's almost there. The ball goes up. Adeji unable to get it to go. Here's Belak now. Belak left hand on the opposite end of the floor. Jimenez fights it for the rebound, out of bounds, off the foot of Frank Benley, I believe. And the Loughborough Riders will have it back on the baseline.
I think it's unfortunate for Nottingham Hoods missing the easy one and then getting the tip all the way to half court, giving Loughborough a 2-on-1.
And Jimenez almost tips that one back up. He's really battling under the, he's always under the basket.
The thing is, Kyle hasn't scored in his game yet, but he rebounds, he gets everyone involved, he does all the little things that no one really talks about.
Powell swipes at Belak, almost gets it. And now Jimenez on the
nice
win. Beautiful pass inside to Harrison Gamble, dishing out dimes. Kyle Jimenez, the Scottish wizard.
Great read by Harrison Gamble there to slip on the screen. Thought his defender stepped up a little too far.
Olarerin
back door.
Off the glass for 3. Olarerin notching another 3 points on the board. Finally getting a shot to drop for him. That takes him to 6 points in this game. Gamble off to Jimenez. Jimenez, Euro step onto the left hand. Makes it look so easy. Euro source left hand finish. Kyle Jimenez for 2.
First 2 points of the game in style. Great move by Kyle Jimenez.
And a rebound down the other end of the floor. Fouled in the act of his rebound. As the foul's called on Powell. Substitution checking into the game, replacing Powell is number 11, Manpreet Hundal. Arija will also check out as Richard Riley makes his first appearance in this game. What can you tell us about Richard Riley?
Connor O'Reilly.
Connor O'Reilly.
Connor O'Reilly.
We've got the wrong name here on the stat sheet. I'm glad you're here to let us know that, because otherwise we would have been calling him Richard all game. What can you tell us about Connor?
Well, Connor's another one like Mayoa. Comes up from the Bucks Twos, originally from Hertfordshire. He's a product of the Russell Hoops initiative, so he's come up through those guys, Hertfordshire area, so he's stepping up, and hopefully he's a great shooter. He's, again, another impact player off the bench that can do everything, but hopefully his first step into the game, he feels comfortable, he feels ready, but we'll see what he can do.
Olarerin starting to get going here for the Hoods. Inside finish on the right hand for 2 points is Harrison Gamble. Interception almost from Olarerin. He started to get his confidence back. Sideline ball now for the Riders.
I think it's those little plays that can turn a game, like one sloppy pass, one sloppy turnover, and Nottingham Hoods can get back into this game just based off of momentum.
Wild pass from Jimenez, can't find his teammate this time. Hundle. Quite a young team, this Nottingham Hoods team, and speaking to Ben Stanley before the game. A couple of players who are in their veteran years, should we say, but the rest of the team all under the age of 23. Combination of Nottingham Hoods academy players and university players and locals. And a nice take to the basket and finish for 2 for Bruce Hajat.
I think this Nottingham team's a completely different team from the team they had last year and the team that got promoted from Division 2. Whole new coaching staff, whole new team. Hopefully, as you said, with the young guys, they take that step and start proving themselves in this league.
So a foul's been called. Jimenez finds himself on the free throw line. Hoods huddling together to have a quick word with one another to see how they can continue to chip away at this deficit. 7.9 on the clock here, 49 to 29, or should I say 50 to 29. 21-point game in this East Midlands L Lynch Trophy group stage clash. At the moment, it's Loughborough that we take in the first seed, but we've got 20 minutes of action to go.
And I don't want to jinx it, but Loughborough have thrown a few games away in the past with sloppiness and turnovers. Their turnover count is pretty high in most games, but hopefully it's not the case today.
Olarerin off the glass for 3 to beat the buzzer. Olarerin finishes on a 8-point burst for his team, and he'll take the final score 51 to 32 at the half. This game between the Loughborough Riders and the Nottingham Hoods. So a great first half full of highlights, some exciting basketball throughout, but unfortunately the Hoods falling a little bit short at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think they've gone away from their original game plan, is getting Juffers the ball inside, getting Delaney Powell inside, making them do the work inside, trying to get those easy points. And that last play, hopefully that's a momentum swing for them and they get a few more on the board, get other people involved, and they can get going again.
Well, it's killing them on the glass. They've only got 20, they've only got 15 rebounds to the Loughborough's 22. In terms of turnovers, Loughborough have 8 turnovers and the Hoods have 10. The Hoods have 18 points in the paint, as you described, but Loughborough also have 30 points in the paint. They're looking inside. CJ Hayden coming up with some big plays in the game, and also a lot of off-ball action resulting in some great cuts to the basket. That inside presence for Loughborough really making it work for today's game.
Yeah, for sure. The work of CJ Hayden, Harrison Gamble at the moment is paying off for Loughborough. Like in the last game, I don't think that was the case. Harrison was a little quiet, same with CJ, but today they looked a little more energized and looked a little like they want the ball more inside. Yeah. Trying to get my words out there. Yeah. Like they want the ball inside a lot more. So hopefully they keep going to that. I think Mark Jarham will be happy with the turnover count. As you said, they've only got 10 at the moment. So hopefully that stays to that low number. And
see how we get on. Well, let's have a little look at the stats for you then. Obviously filling the stat sheet, playing all 20 minutes so far. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals for Carl Jimenez, filling up the stat sheet nice and slowly. It's 8 points for CJ Hayden alongside 2 rebounds, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for Harrison Gamble, 14 points from the Loughborough captain Jonas Dietrich, and 8 points for Carlin Tifo with 5 from Joe Belak. For the Nottingham Hoods, it's 11 points for Victor Olarerin, 10 points for Laurits Juffa, 4 points Delaney Powell, 3 points for Babalola, and 2 points apiece for Patrick Adeji. As we mentioned earlier on in the game, only 4 points off the bench for Nottingham Hoods. They need somebody to have a little bit more of a scoring effect in this game.
For sure. I think that's the biggest factor for both teams actually, is the impact off the bench. Loughborough at the moment, Belak, Johnson, Melwa, coming off, making that impact, whereas Nottingham haven't seen that much from any of the other guys. So hopefully the coach realises that and gives them a talking to, gives them that confidence they need to step into the second half with, yes, I could take the open shot, I can create a play, I could get to the basket, play good defence, and hopefully it turns the game around for them.
Well, at this moment in time, there are a couple MVP shouts of the game. As we know, lots of time left to go. But let us know who you think is going to be this game's MVP. Jonas Dietrich and Kyle Jimenez have already thrown their name into that. CJ Hayden with the big plays he's put in. Also from the hoods, Olaron and Juffa starting to get themselves going, as we mentioned already. So please let us know who you think is going to be the MVP of today's game. Let us know in the comment section via the Basketball England YouTube page. Make sure you tell your friends and family to join myself, Tahir, Hajat and Piers Maslen for the second half coming up, and also get involved in social media at Lynch Trophy on Twitter, at L Lynch Trophy on Instagram. So we're going to take a little bit of a break now for halftime. We'll join you very shortly, bringing you the rest of this NBL L Lynch Group Stage fixture between the Loughborough Riders and the Nottingham McDonald's Hoods. So a very warm welcome back here to Loughborough University for today's NBL L Lynch Group stage action. The East Midlands catch between the Loughborough Riders and the Nottingham McDonald's Hoods. 51-32 the score. The Loughborough Riders currently in the lead. It's been an exciting contest early on with some fantastic flair, some big plays for all of the British basketball family to join some midweek basketball action with myself, Tahir, Hajat, alongside my co-commentator today, Pierce Maslen. So Pierce, let's just give a quick rundown to those who are just joining us at halftime about today's game. It's been a great offensive performance and a great defensive performance from the Riders, but the Hoods haven't been able to get it going.
Yeah, for sure. Like, a few guys are almost getting to their averages, with Lawrence Huffer with his 10 points, his average is 19 points. Same with Victor Ollerin. Last game he had 20, he's on 11, so hopefully he gets himself going a little bit more, because this is what they're going to need. And again, their bench players also need to get into the game and make an impact, so hopefully we'll start seeing that in the second half from them.
4 points only off the bench going into the second half for the Nottingham McDonald's Hood, compared to 13 points from the Loughborough Riders team. A lot more ball sharing going on offense for the Riders. They're really moving the ball well and finding the right pass and the right look at the basket, higher percentage shots.
The key to that is 30 points in the paint for the Riders. So it goes back to your point, high percentage shots. Closer you are to the basket, the higher percentage it is. 30 points is a very high number, especially at halftime as well.
So let's get this one back underway, as this game decides who will take potentially the first seed, or will have some say in the decision who will take the first seed, as Jimenez shakes off his defender, bounces off the back of the rim. If Loughborough win this game, then they will end up as being the first seed in the group. If Hoods win this game, then they have the opportunity to get closer to becoming the first seed in this group. 51-32 the score there at this moment in time, so the Hoods have got a challenge ahead of them. Bit of a mountain, but it's not impossible. Plenty of time for them to get closer. Here's Powell.
Bit of a shaky start from Loughborough there, turning it over. Usually when that happens at the start of the third quarter, things really don't go their way, but hopefully they break that today.
Babalola, tough angle to finish from. Doesn't get it to go. Jimenez pushes the ball forward. Arija. Harrison Gamble trails.
Great run in there by CJ and Harrison. Both of them are wide open.
Screen from Hayden. Jimenez kicks it out to Arija on the three-point line. Rattles in and out of the ring and out. Ollerin with the rebound now for the Hoods.
Great find by Jimenez. Dwayne needs to knock that shot down. They're going to give that to him all day.
Well, as a guard, Pierce, I'm sure you'll know what it feels like when you make a beautiful pass and it doesn't fall for you. But there's Ollerin dropping a three. 3 back-to-back threes for him currently. 2 off the glass. But that one, it will count.
So picking up where he left off at halftime. So it's a good sign for Nottingham. Hopefully he gets going even more.
A travel violation call. Babalola smiles at Hayden. 51-35, the Hoods have had a good start to this third quarter. Very positive from them. Chance to edge closer and closer and really punish Loughborough Riders during a bad spell. Here's Parker.
Key thing for Nottingham Hills is just be there in the last 2-3 minutes of the game. Fight all this quarter going into the fourth and make it a 5-6 point game coming into 5 minutes in the fourth. Hopefully get themselves up there.
Hustle play there from Ollerin to keep it in play for the Hoods. Possession is paused briefly as they reset the shot clock to the correct amount of time. And I believe the referee is saying 19 seconds here. As the ball gets put into play, here's Babalola. Now with Powell. Powell swing through to the baseline. A foul is called.
Nice move there by Powell. I think he was looking for the referee to get a continuation on that one. He got to the rim.
But no basket called. So end line possession. Here's the foul is called on the floor. Foul was called on number 11, Arija. And the ball from Powell looking for a teammate. Clock almost runs out on the baseline. Here's Ollerin. Burst of speed to the bucket. Great athleticism to split through the defenders. Shot falls a little short, hits the corner of the rim.
Tough take there by Ollerin.
You could see with his change of speed and the burst of speed that no one was going to able to beat him to the spot. And now he'll head to the free throw line.
It's a good sign for the Hoods.
As he makes the first. And the second.
Positive start for Olorin. Hopefully he's the leader in this game to get the Hoods, hopefully get them going.
Now a 14-point game, Jimenez. And that will stay with the Riders. The defensive intensity is lifted by the Hoods also, really forcing Loughborough to make tough passes and take tough shots.
Especially on Jimenez as well. His score count isn't very high today.
Gamble, long two. Dietrich fights for the rebound. Arija, back out to Harrison Gamble. Riders recycle. Here's Hayden. Hayden faces up Babalola. Hayden, left-hand hook. Rebounded by Olorerin. Babalola.
Tough move by CJ Hayden there. Just a little bit more power on that hook. Might have dropped.
Powell. Great screen from Babalola. Powell changes direction. Finds Juffa on the three-point line. Back out to Powell. Powell for the three. And Arija comes up with that rebound. Parker almost knocks it away, but Jimenez collects for the Riders. Arija. Ooh. And a foul is called on number 7, CJ Hayden. Illegal screen. Bodied him. Third personal.
That was a blindsided screen right there.
That's the tastiest kind of screen out there. I enjoy those kind of screens. Obviously setting them, but not being
on the receiving end of them.
No, never.
Not
and a substitution checking into the game, and Tifa will check in replacing Hayden. A little bit of foul trouble for Hayden now. He has to manage, well, Coach Mark Jarron will manage that. 7 minutes. And 10 seconds left to go here in the third.
See if Natifo picks up the slack from CJ Hayden in the first half, coming into the second half.
Juffa with the spin. He jumps into Connor Tifo, fighting for the offensive rebound, but Jimenez hands on the possession. Oh, behind the back, see Olorerin. And Gamble back to Jonas Dietrich. Ball movement, money. Great play from the Loughborough Riders.
Great move by Kyle Jimenez and unselfish play from Harrison Gamble as well. We all know he's a lights-out shooter, but he's got his teammate next to him who could do the same thing.
Olorerin goes up strong, big, jump into the air, picks that one out of the sky. Carlin Tifo. Here's Jimenez. Jimenez, faced up by Parker. Now onto his left hand, Carl Jimenez finishes on the right hand. Carl Jimenez starting to give Loughborough the energy.
These third quarters where Carl Jimenez takes over, especially with the scoring as we've seen in previous games. He takes control of the game.
As Olorerin goes for the mid-range two, just off the left-hand side of the elbow. Olorerin really starting
takes him up to 16 points now
really
on that bucket.
I was literally going to say, really starting to rack up the points on the board. Beautiful pass from Jimenez. Dietrich inside. Carl Jimenez doing it all for Loughborough Riders once again. And here's Powell.
That takes him up to 5 assists on that one.
Out to Babalola. And a rebound for Carl Jimenez.
I think Carl Jimenez might be flirting with another triple-double today.
And it's very important as a veteran player in this team to be able to do it all, to support everybody. And here's Gamble. Gamble knocks down the three. And another assist for Carl Jimenez. The Loughborough Riders find their stride once again and open that gap back up to 19 points. 58-39, a timeout called. Coach Ben Stanley wants to talk it over. So a positive start for the Hoods, but Loughborough seem to have found their rhythm and got straight back into the game.
For sure, you can see the experience of Carl Jimenez, again, as we've seen in previous games. He takes over in those third quarters, especially in the closer games, but now he's giving Loughborough that energy, that inspiration for them to keep pushing the lead up. Like, that takes him to 9 points, and he's got 10 rebounds and 6 assists, so Again, another
assists,
triple.
I believe he's got 7 assists.
7, so he's almost getting to a triple-double. It wouldn't surprise me at the end of the game if he doesn't finish with that.
One shining light for the Hoods at this moment in time, Victor Olorerin. He's really making an offensive display for the Hoods at this moment, making the tough shots to keep them hanging around. And now I do think that overall the Hoods have got to start contributing from other areas to try and ensure that it's a team performance and it's not just going to have to go through one guy all game.
For sure. I mean, I think Victor Olorerin is telling his teammates, like, I need your help right now. I only can do so much, but we've seen great players. They take the team on their back and they perform when they need to. Hopefully he do as much as he needs to do to keep them in the game. But guys off the bench, they need to start stepping up and taking some of the slack off of him.
So the teams making their way back onto the floor after briefly getting a quick hand sanitization following the BE return to play COVID guidance. And it's been great that we've been able to keep playing sport. Division 1, men and women's competitions, as well as BBL and WBBL. Here's Juffa. Inside, Powell, strong move. Can't get it to go, gets his own rebound now. Powell, forcing it in for 2.
Tough shot there by Delaney Powell.
Here's Gamble. Gamble with room in the middle of the floor. Morel. Beautiful pass to Ntifo, but slips through the hands of Ntifo, out of bounds to the opposite side of the floor. Nottingham Hoods get the possession back.
I think Chester trying to make the nice play there. Try and keep it simple. You don't need to rush anything at the moment. We've got the lead. Just keep the ball and try and get a good possession every time down the floor.
It's great to see all the engagement we're getting this moment in time in the YouTube comment section. Make sure you share your thoughts with us at this moment in time. We've got Ossie.
Nice pass there by Carl Jimenez.
And a nice 2 points from Ntifo. We've got Ossie in the chat. He's giving us a shout saying that we said the Hoods are hanging around, but it's a 22-point gap at this moment. I mean, come on. We've got to show some appreciation. There's plenty of time left in this one.
It takes Carl Jimenez up to 8 assists on that last one.
Here's Jimenez. I don't believe he's taken a break all game. I think he's been in the game since the beginning. Oh, beautiful pass inside. And Tifo, and unable to complete the play, rises up high, but foul. Enough contact for that dunk to just be missed.
I think Carl Jimenez might be a little angry at Carl Tifo there, ruining his assist. Those are the easy ones.
And substitutions checking into the game as Jonas Dietrich will take a break and Joe Bielak checks back in. And substitution also for the Hoods.
Joe Bielak sitting on 5 points at the moment. Hopefully he comes in, knocks down a few threes, keeps pushing the lead up.
And Tifo off the front of the ring. Riders currently 9 for 15 from the free throw line. And the Hoods have only been to the free throw line 4 times in this game. And Tifo gets the second to go. And now here's Hundle. Olorerin.
Here's Loughborough in their 2-3 zone, switching up the defense.
Caused a lot of problems for the Hoods in the first half. And here's Hundle once again. Hundle.
I think Jaram's realised they're not shooting many threes in the last 2 games they played against each other.
The foul is called. Foul is called on number 4, Joe Bielak, for the hold. And it's an end-line possession for the Hoods. 64-41, 3 minutes 35 left to go in the third quarter. 3 ball, downtown. Hundle knocks it down for the Nottingham Hoods.
Should be a great confidence booster for this young team, especially with the 5 they've got out now.
Here's Jimenez, moves the ball to Gamble. Back into the hands of Jimenez. Kicks it out, Gamble, catch and shoot. Bounce off the back of the ring. Almost Jimenez off the tip pass from Bielak, to Ntifo. Powell hands it off, Matt Ward-Hibbert.
First time we've seen Ward-Hibbert in the post today.
Ward-Hibbert Fade away from the free throw line, rebounded by Jimenez. Jimenez pushes the ball forward to Morel. Morel, stop, looks for the pop, kicks it across to the baseline. Belak for three, and he'll get his own rebound. Nice footwork from Belak, can't get it to go, and rebounded by Powell.
It's the easy ones, he needs to make them. Great move, great shot fake, just finish at the end of it.
Juffa onto his right hand. Forced finish, but Olorerin will clean that one up for the Hoods. Takes his point tally to 20 points. Same amount of points that he had in the first contest between these two teams. Loughborough coming up out on top on last Saturday, I believe. 3 points, 77-74 victory. And substitutions as Juffa and Olorerin head to the bench. And checking into the game, number 9, Eje, and also Fagbenle. Gamble. Jimenez off the dribble. Trying to do a little bit too much now. Needs to be a little bit more selfish, weirdly, I find myself saying in that situation.
For sure. He's creating everything. Like, the defense is going to realize he's looking to pass. He gets in the paint, look to finish, look for those floaters, look for those shots around the rim. He's good at that. He can make those. He's got to keep it simple. His points and his assists will come at the end of the day. To make the right play.
Powell, travel violation call on Hondo. Carl and Tifa lost the ball on the opposite end, and now the Riders end up with possession. Full court pressure here, but Chester Morell's wide open. Morel, down low Gamble. I say down low, but just underneath the left-hand side of the wing. Here's Jimenez.
Nice post action there from Loughborough.
Jimenez tries to step in through the defenders and now turns the ball over for the second time in a row whilst he's had the opportunity to do so.
I think the Hoods are figuring out what Loughborough are trying to do in the second half. Try and get the ball out of his hands, make it difficult, wall up against them. You've seen the last two possessions when he's turned it over, the defense has been standing straight up and he's been fortunate enough to get called to travel against him. So
Ward Hibbett looks for the bounce pass, and that's off the foot, I believe, of a Riders player. Substitutions checking into the game. Arija and Dietrich check back in. Jimenez finally takes a break in this game alongside Harrison Gamble.
I think that's a well-deserved break right there. The productivity you get from Carl Jimenez, like, it's not seen in Division 1 at the moment. Like, he's up there with one of the best players in the league at the moment. Last 3 games, he's proved himself with triple doubles. Like, he does everything. It's the type of player you want on your team to run your team and get everyone involved.
And Tifo with the rebound as the clock wound down. Arija, baseline 3, and a big rebound once again for Ntifo. Dietrich for 3, and Fagbenle will rip that one away.
It's good to see the unselfish basketball played by Loughborough, finding the open man, getting the extra pass going.
Big rebound now for Fagbenle on the opposite end. Finishes with the reverse layup for 2. Now with Morel. Arija with the crossover. Finds Morel in the corner. Morel for 3 off the side of the ring. Rebounded by Matt Ward Hibbett. Powell. Powell going to work inside. Kicks it out. Ball rotation now for the Hoods. Ward Hibbett. Clock winding down, no shot clock. We'll use the clock. Here's Ward Hibbett with the spin to beat the buzzer.
Tough move.
And that is the end of the third quarter, 64-48 at this moment in time. A little better from the Hoods. They end up, I believe, winning that quarter overall.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at these stats right now, the contribution from the bench is very minimal, and I think that's what's hurting the Hoods in this game right now. They need other players to step up, take the lead, and start scoring to get themselves back in the game. You could do little things like play great defense, get offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. Like, you do all the little things that make a big difference at the end of the game. And right now, they're relying on 2 players for the scoring. And I think other people need to step up and get into that role and get going a little bit.
Well, Delaney Powell, he has 6 points, 7 rebounds, and assist a steal to his name. He is one of the players that can start to help have a little bit more of an impact. We saw it a couple of times here in that third quarter where he got the ball, went strong to the paint and really tried to make things happen. Some shots haven't fell for him, but hopefully they do start to fall and he starts to now have an impact on the game.
Yeah, for sure. As you see, Delaney Powell's a big body. Like, you don't want to mess with him inside. Get him the ball, let him go to work, let him take on some of the smaller guards, get a mismatch, and hopefully he converts. But he needs to get a little bit more involved on the scoring end and taking the load. Like in the last game against Loughborough, again, he had 15 points. Right now, he's on 6 points. So you can see the drop-off there. He needs to get himself going a little bit.
So, lots of people letting us know their thoughts in the comments via the YouTube stream on Basketball England. Please let us know who you think your game MVP is going to be. We've got Zaki Kadir saying it hurts to watch Notts right now, and I can imagine as a Nottingham Hoods fan and Nottingham local, you never want to see your team lose against losing against a local rival team, especially from the Leicestershire side, if I do say so myself.
For sure. From experience playing at Nottingham, especially, it's always a pleasure to go there and play there because there's always a crowd. It gets into it, the atmosphere's good. So it's always it's a welcoming for the opponents to come and know that they're going to have a good, tough game at hand.
And so we do get this fourth and final game underway in the NBL Lynch group stage competition. The Loughborough Riders are in the lead here, 64-48 at Loughborough University. And a great display from the Riders in this game. And a not so great display from the Hoods at this moment in time anyway. Here's Hundle. Behind the back, step back. Nice move from Hundle. He gets it to go.
Might need a little bit more of them. Those types of shots in this quarter to get them going. Great momentum plays.
Now a 14-point game. And this is how he started in the third quarter as well. And Nottingham really now need to make a difference. But here's it, Tifo turns the corner, two hands, throws it all over the Hoods.
That's the game right there. It takes him up to 38 points in the paint on that point. So great move by Cole Natifo. Great way to finish it as well with a dunk.
Hundle, another behind the back move for three. Doesn't get it to go. Here's Jimenez. Got it by Parker. Jimenez.
Looking inside for Latifo again.
Latifo turns the corner, goes for the reverse, up and under, almost gets it to go.
That would have been.
Foul is called.
That would have been something else if you'd done that again.
And a substitution now lined up for the Loughborough Riders. CJ Hayden will check into the game, and he'll replace number 4, Joe Belak. I tell you what, Pierce, there has been some big-time plays in this game.
Checking social media after BBL Fix, Hoops Fix. I bet they're already all over there right now. So comments are going wild about CJ Hayden and Carl Natifo.
As Natifo is on the line now. Unable to get the second free throw to go. Catches the ball back. Mid-range. Sets the screen. Jimenez finds Dietrich. Dietrich turns the corner, unable to get the three to go. Hayden keeps that in place. Slips through the hands of Arija. Jimenez will tip it to Dietrich and get it back.
Great effort plays there from Loughborough.
Hayden and Tifo. Mid-range 2. And a big rebound now for Edgy.
I don't think that's the shot Loughborough are looking to get. Especially with Cole Natifo shooting that short corner shot after his dunk that he just had. I'm sure he can get to the ring on those ones.
Long three from Parker. Rebounded by Jimenez. Dietrich. Guarded by Ward Hibbert. Looks down low. Hayden with the mismatch against Juffa to step into the game. Here's Hundle. Hundle has really started to make a conscious effort to try and put points on the boards for the Hoods. Dietrich. And Tifo sealing inside. Another mismatch, and Tifo kicks it out. Arija. And he's unable to get the three to go and slips away from the hands from Ajay into the hands of Jimenez. Dietrich now in the corner for three. And it's money for the captain, Jonas Dietrich.
So that brings Carl Jimenez up to 9 points, 14 rebounds and 11 assists. 1 point shy of another triple-double.
In NBL action, a big block by Carlin Tifo. He says to Ajay, no sir. Jimenez turns the corner. And here's Hayden almost coming through the middle of the paint. Jimenez finds it, goes for a behind-the-back pass, intercepted now by Fagbenle. Here's the Hoods pushing on the opposite side of the floor. Ajay, Eurostep kicks out to Parker. Hundal winds up the three, and a rebound for Hayden.
You can see the great effort by Carl Natifo on the defensive end.
Hayden, double teamed from the elbow. Oh, air ball for Mentifo. Jonas Dietrich can't get the finish.
It's those little plays, those are the ones that matter. Okay, in this game they're up, but in a closer game, those are the ones that can kill you.
Ward Hibbert. Hundal. Screen from Ward Hibbert. Hundal drives, and that's a shot clock violation. The Loughborough Riders will have possession, and a timeout is called by the Nottingham Hoods. They need to talk it over. 72-50. They keep getting within 14, 13 mark, and then Loughborough just pull themselves away again, Pierce.
I think the big difference from the Saturday's game to today's game is the points in the paint from the Hoods. Today, they've only got 24 points in the paint, whereas on Saturday they had 48. That's almost half of the points that they're missing right now. And I think they've kind of gone away from that from the first half into the second. They're not getting the ball inside. They're settling for outside shots, trying to create stuff on the perimeter rather than feeding the ball inside, where they had the most success last game. So hopefully, 5 or 6 minutes left, kind of get going, get that game plan going again, maybe turn it around.
More importantly, I'd like to see Victor Alarerin back into the game. He was the real dynamic player that was having a difference. And, you know, Coach Ben Stanley might be hearing what I'm saying, he might not be hearing, but he will have an opportunity now to bring the Hoods a little closer, make it a slightly closer game as we come towards the end of this fourth quarter.
For sure. Like, these are the type of moments that great players want to bring their teams back into games. Like, I remember for myself from the teams I've been on, the best players on the teams take the lead and they get the ball. They control the team and what they're doing. They make sure every time down the floor they get a great shot. As you see, like now, Delaney Powell is giving a speech and trying to motivate his team, trying to probably say those things and get them going. So hopefully we'll see that now in the last 6 minutes of the game, see that difference.
Nottingham vet Delaney Powell, as Pierce said, trying to get the Hoods going. So, as we are coming towards the final moments of this game, the MVP debate is already started up in the chat. Owen Parker dropping statistical dimes throughout today's game. He's got Jimenez and Dietrich going up for the MVP. Dave Owen.
Liam Johnson for three.
Liam Johnson knocking down the three, but Dave Owen also giving Jimenez a big shout out.
Nice cut by Olarin.
He is back into the game as he goes up, draws the contact, and he'll go to the free throw line.
I think Ben Stanley might have taken your advice on this one.
Big shout out to Coach Ben Stanley. Had a little break away from the game and has decided to come back to the game that he loves. Shared some time with him on the bench. We worked together an under-15 East Midlands team. Featured some great players. In fact, Amari from Myerscough in that team, Charlie Brown. We had Dane Carr, who's an ex-Charnwood player. We had some phenomenal players, Jack Halstead as well.
A few Division 1 players right now, your name, well, Amari and ex-Myerscough.
Yeah, Amari Williams.
Now at Drexel with Mateo Cross as well. So
some great players being produced in the East Midlands, and it was great to get an insight into the way he likes to coach the game. Very meticulous, focuses on the details, and an offensive foul called, and the other referee actually looked to show a flop warning, and Coach Mark Jarram trying to get some consistency, and Roger Harrison not having any of it.
It's difficult. They're both on the same side, can see the same things. One's in front, one's behind. They didn't even talk about it, so one ref was pretty adamant like it was a charge, so tough shot.
It was heavily contested, as we'd say on 2K. Here's Gamble. Now Jimenez moves the ball well. Johnson almost pulls the trigger once again. Jimenez guarded by Olorerin.
That last rebound takes Jimenez up to 15 rebounds for the game.
Jimenez skips it out. Johnson off the pump fake. Hayden inside. Up strong, blocked by Juffa. Ward Hibbert looked for the baseball pass across the floor, but ends up passing the ball to Parker. And Olorerin just bounces off Harrison Gamble, hits the deck and turns the ball over for the Hoods. And a timeout call by the Loughborough Riders. They want to talk it over. Game management, 75-50, 25-point lead for the Riders. 4 minutes 30 left to go.
It's going to take something special for the Hoods to bring back this one, but it's doable. But we're going to have to see something special from a few players. Knock down some threes, start picking the tempo up on defense, getting high quality shots. Maybe get a few lucky ones, the ones you just throw up there when you're confident, trying to get them to go in. So hopefully we'll see that in the last 4 minutes 30 left in the game.
So let's just remind everybody where we're at in this group stage of the NBL Lynch Trophy fixture. Obviously the Loughborough Riders looking to confirm their first place seed in this competition, and it's looking like they're in a good position to do so now. The Nottingham Hoods were looking for the opportunity to attain a first seed in this group, but it seems that they'll now have the opportunity to battle it out against Charnwood College, see who will take the honours in that one. And the quarter-final has been drawn already. Big shout out to Rebound, who did the draw alongside the L Lynch Trophy team, and the draw is as follows: Thames Valley Cavaliers now potentially taking on either Charnwood or the Hoods, and potentially a long shot in the Loughborough. Loughborough, it now looks like they're in prime position to potentially take on Bradford or Myerscough. Solent will be taking on Hemel Storm, and Derby or Bradford would potentially be taking on Worthing Thunder in the fourth and final quarter-final of the L Lynch Trophy this season. So, back to the action then. 4 minutes 23 to go, 75-50 the score. Here's Johnson. Jimenez. Inside, Harrison Gamble. Dime from Jimenez. Arija comes up with a steal. Jimenez slows down. Finds Harrison Gamble from deep. And Victor Olorerin comes up with the defensive rebound. Interception now for Harrison Gamble. Can't keep up with the plays at this moment in time. Here's Jimenez.
I think you see Carl Jimenez taking control of this game right now, controlling the tempo, controlling what his team does, like a true professional right now. I think people need to start looking at him a lot more seriously and putting some respect on his name. Like his last few games that he's played has been amazing for Loughborough. He's been the key to their success at the moment.
Substitutions checking into the game for the Nottingham Hoods. Patrick and number 4, Sammy Beale, check into the game for the Hoods. Matt Ward Hibbert and Olorerin will take a break.
I think they're trying to look inside for Juffers.
And there he is, inside. Finds Patrick. Off the glass and in for 2.
Keep it simple. Nice pass and cut there by Isaac Patrick and Juffers.
Jimenez. Hayden hits Parker with the screen. Up top now, Harrison Gamble. Bounces off the back of the ring. Hasn't had much luck from the three-point line tonight, Harrison Gamble. Often bouncing off the back of the ring. Only 2 for 8 from the three-point line. Both teams making substitution now. So, a correction. Connor Riley, his name is actually Richard Riley. As a teammate, the cameraman informed us at halftime, that's his government name as we're describing it. It's the name that's in his passport. So his peers know him as Connor, but his name is Richard Riley. A foul is called here off the ball.
I think we need to give a honourable mention to Carl Jimenez and Harrison Gamble. I think this might be it for them for the game. Like Carl Jimenez finishing with 9 points,
16 rebounds and
16
13
rebounds and 13 assists.
It's
like
a shame he couldn't get that extra point. Who knows? Coach Mark Jarron might be giving him a nice little moment there, but at the same time, Carl's not that guy. It's all about, oh, nice play there from Fabbenle. It's all about the team for Carl Jimenez, and he'll just be happy to secure the win.
For sure.
Fourth personal foul. Coach Mark Jarham having a quick word with Chester Morrell. No basket as Fagbenley's shot bounces off the back of the ring and hits the beautiful wire that all basketball players love that sits above. You know,
so they haven't put it high enough for anyone not to hit it.
Yeah, it's like playing with no ceiling. Here's Johnson. Here's Morrell.
It's nice to see Chester Morrell running the one for Loughborough.
Nice pass to Hayden. Hands it off to Aloki. Aloki kicks it out. Riley. And a big rebound underneath the basket for Liam Johnson. Both players had their hand on the ball, and possession hour points in favour of the Riders. Don't forget to let those MVP shouts come in. We've got mad love for Liam Johnson at the moment from his former teammates, saying that he should be MVP, but Chester Morrell gets the long two to go. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't think I'll be picking Liam for MVP today, although he's had a good contribution to this win.
We'll give Liam Johnson a shout out, stepping onto the court in the last few minutes, doing what he needs to do.
Isaac Patrick with the three. Here's Morrell. Just 2 minutes to go here, Loughborough University. Morrell kicks it out. Johnson airballs that shot. Patrick, long pass from Hundle. Looks inside, almost a nice seal from Buell, but Fagbenle comes up with it into the hands of Aloki. Johnson. Hayden took off there like he wanted to commit a murder.
Wow, that would have been something. We've said all the other ones would have been. That would have been.
Patrick for three. Bounces off the throw in the ring, off the backboard, and rebounded by Riley.
I think in these moments, Chester Morrell needs to take control of the team and try and run some offense, get some really good shots in the last couple of minutes, give them confidence going into the next game.
Aloki to the rack for two. Nice ball fake, eye fake, sold the defender, turned the corner, left all alone to finish at the rim. Here's Patrick.
That's what Maiwa can do for you, give him the chances.
We got a big shout out for Joe Campbell, Sheffield Sharks player watching the game right now. Says Carl Jimenez is the best player in D1. That's a statement.
And I think that's going to be a fact very, very soon.
Oh, I don't know. There's some serious players in D1, Piers. I'm not going to lie.
I know there is.
I know you've been supporting Loughborough all game, my friend, but I'm telling you, we've got the Cameron Hilgers, the Zaya Taylors, those kind of guys in the league. That's a big statement. We've got a long season to go.
Yeah, we haven't even really started the league that well.
He could definitely set himself up nicely for a contract next season, Carl Jimenez.
I think, yeah, for sure. I'm not disrespecting anyone else in the league. There's some serious contenders.
Chester Morrell gets it to go.
And it'll be interesting the way the league's set out this year in the north and south, especially in the south. There's some really tough teams, so there'll be some great games to be watching. And in the north, it's the same thing. With some great teams up there competing.
And we're into the final possession here of this NBL L Lynch Trophy game, as Chester Morrell will dribble this one out here at Loughborough University. It looks like the Loughborough Riders are going to be the first seed in this group stage, and they will now potentially take on either Bradford or Myerscough in the quarterfinals of the competition. An all well-rounded performance from the Loughborough Riders. A struggling sight from the Nottingham Hoods in this game against the Riders, and hopefully they'll look to recoup and improve as a young up-and-coming team and push forward. Piers, how was the game for you today?
I think looking back on the last game, Nottingham fell short a little bit, but not to take anything away from them, they did a good performance today. But Loughborough was just hitting the shots that they weren't making in the last game. Carl Jimenez stepping up again. Harrison Gamble were making shots that he didn't make last game. Same with Joe Belak. Same with Jonas. So it's nothing away from Nottingham. They did really well today, I think. But go back to practice, talk things over. Again, it's their second game back from lockdown. Their last game was against Oakland's. That was two and a half weeks ago. So get back into training, get back into the flow of things, and hopefully this year we'll see some really good things from Nottingham.
I would have really liked to seen a lot more from Victor Olorerin today in terms of his playing time. He only had 25 minutes overall and 20 points, 5 rebounds, etc. We also had 10 points for Lauritz Juffa in this game, 6.7 rebounds for Delaney Powell, the kind of stat leaders for the Nottingham Hoods in today's fixture. 22 points for Jonas Dietrich, 5 rebounds for the Loughborough Riders captain, alongside 12 points, 4 rebounds for Harrison Gamble, 16 points for Carlin Tifo, and of course that magic stat line from Carl Jimenez, 9 points, 16 rebounds and 13 assists, 1 point off another triple-double in Division 1 action. So it will be Carl Jimenez who we do give the MVP in today's game. Big thank you to everybody for following in the comments. It's been great to have you guys. Hopefully we'll be back with some more NBL action soon. So that's it from myself, Tahir, Hajat and Piers Madlen, 85-56, Loughborough Riders.